Welcome to Unews. I'm Maity Interiano filling in for Carolina Sarasa. We begin this hour with a major attack on a religious institution. Florida federal officials have arrested a man accused of plotting an attack in a Colorado synagogue. In court documents, authorities are calling the suspect a domestic terrorist. Also appeared in a Denver federal court Monday. It's not clear if he has attorneys yet, but he's scheduled back in court Thursday for a preliminary hearing. And for more on this story, let's go to Scott Levin. He's with the Anti-Defamation League in Colorado. Meanwhile, developments regarding another potential hate crime charges are expected to be filed today against the 61-year-old man suspected of throwing battery acid on a Hispanic man in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The victim is now to what could develop into a major international incident. An urgent manhunt is underway after an American family is ambushed in Mexico. The family has both American and Mexican citizens, but lives on a ranch in the Mexican state of Sonora. The caravan of cars was headed to a wedding in nearby Chihuahua when the group was attacked, killing at least 3 women and 6 children. Claudia Zurita has the latest from Mexico.
Called for people not to rush into conclusions and said that absolutely no information will be hidden. In Mexico City, Claudia Zurita, Unews.
The new developments in the impeachment inquiry, newly released transcripts of the testimonies given by key witnesses are offering more details on the behind-the-scene events that led to this investigation. Lorraine Cáceres has the very latest.
Released the transcripts from the testimony of Kurt Volker, the former special envoy for Ukraine, as well as Gordon Sondland, the ambassador to the European Union. In the transcript, Sondland acknowledged delivering a quid pro quo message to Ukraine that the country would not get military aid until they gave an anti-corruption statement. He also told lawmakers he thought Giuliani's push for Ukraine to investigate the Bidens was potentially illegal. Meanwhile, Volker testifying, he told Giuliani that many of his Ukraine theories were, quote, not credible. Back to you, Maity.
Thank you, Lorraine. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is beginning its formal withdrawal from the Paris Climate Accord. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo released a statement to the United Nations and public on Monday. It marks the several states are heading to the polls today. The results in certain key states could offer a glimpse of what's next to come in November. Claudia Uceda has more.
Republicans win in Mississippi, Kentucky, and Virginia. That will be considered a good night. A good night for Democrats will be winning Kentucky and Virginia. In Washington, I'm Claudia Uceda. Now, back to you.
Thank you, Claudia Uceda in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, new voting machines that combine touchscreens with paper ballots are getting a limited test run in Georgia. It's part of a... Now to the race for the White House. A new poll shows President Trump could win the battleground state once again. A New York Times Siena College poll found that hypothetical matchups against the top Democratic candidates, it is virtually a dead heat in 6 battleground states. And in Wisconsin, it's already a daily fight for every possible vote. Here's Carolina Sarasa. And there's more news ahead, including travel trouble. Welcome back to Unews. I'm Maity Interiano in for Carolina Sarasa. An alarming new study shows how easy it can be to hack your home. Researchers say they found a way to control any voice assistant like Google Home, Amazon Alexa, and even some phones just by shining a laser pointer. Paola Byron explains. A travel nightmare is unfolding at airports across the country, and it has nothing to do with the planes. New rules for ride shares and taxi pickups are leaving passengers waiting potentially hours to get home. Maity Marungi reports. And speaking of California, Apple is now pledging up to $2.5 billion to help create more accessible housing in the Golden State. A bill coming up next, a freak act. Come back to Unews. New details on the murder of a couple from New Hampshire who were on a road trip across the United States. Officials have released surveillance images of 2 people they're calling persons of interest. Rafael Rodriguez has the details. On Saturday, a woman in California was impaled in the leg with a metal bar after it bounced off the highway. Officials Now to New York City. Police are looking for the person who brutally beat a 67-year-old veteran inside an apartment elevator. The attack was caught on camera. Peggy Carranza spoke with the victim, who is now recovering.
No arrest. Anyone with information is asked to call the NYPD. In New York City, Peggy Carranza, Unews.
Up next, we'll take Mexico. People are now getting a chance to own and live in homes once used as safe houses by notorious drug lord El Chapo. The government is holding an auction selling off El Chapo's homes, as well as watches, cars, and boats. Angie Sandoval has more. Now to Puerto Rico, where tributes are pouring in for celebrity astrologer Walter Mercado. His televised horoscope readings were a fixture in Latino households for years. Dagny Noriega has more on how Mercado's family plans to honor his legacy. Mucho amor, much love. Coming up, Utah engineers are working on a bionic leg that could change the lives of amputees. Not only is the leg lightweight, but its goal is to help amputees walk further for longer. Eileen Cardet reports. A nonprofit is trying to make life a little easier for women battling cancer. Azul Alvarez has more on the mission of cleaning for a reason. And finally today, one of America's favorite treats gets its own day. That's right, today is National Dose. All the time we have for today. I'm Maity Interiano, and we will see you tomorrow. Hasta mañana.